Money is energy. It amplifies the intent of the one who holds it. Every dollar, every coin, every transaction carries the invisible vibration of purpose behind it. Some see money as a mere tool of exchange, but in truth, it is a mirror of human energy. It reflects who you are, what you value, and how you think. If your intent is rooted in greed, money will magnify that greed until it consumes you. But if your intent is grounded in creation, contribution, and clarity, money becomes a force that expands your capacity to serve and impact the world. Think about it. Two people can hold the same amount of money, yet its power in their hands will differ greatly. One may use it to uplift, to build schools, to empower others, to create opportunities where there were none. The other may use it to dominate, to inflate ego, to chase endless validation. The difference lies not in the money itself, but in the energy behind its use. Money doesn't corrupt, it exposes, it brings to light what was already within. When you understand this truth, you begin to approach wealth with greater awareness. You stop seeing it as something to hoard and start treating it as energy that flows through you. Energy that stagnates dies, and money that is trapped loses purpose. The wealth that grows is the wealth that circulates, with intention, with intelligence, and with heart. Those who understand the energetic nature of money do not cling to it in fear. They allow it to move with purpose, trusting that it will return multiplied. Because money responds to confidence, not desperation. It is drawn to clarity and repelled by confusion. When you align your energy, your thoughts, actions, and beliefs with value creation, money begins to flow naturally into your life. You do not chase it, you become a magnet for it. You begin to embody abundance rather than lack. You realize that money amplifies your vibration. If you radiate scarcity, you attract scarcity. If you radiate service, you attract prosperity. It is not the external economy that dictates your wealth, but your internal economy. Your mindset, your discipline, your emotional relationship with money. If you see it as energy, you will treat it with respect. You will learn to manage it, multiply it, and move it wisely. This is why financial success begins not with a strategy, but with self-awareness. You must master the energy within before mastering the flow of money around you. When your intent is pure, money will amplify your light. When it's clouded, money will magnify your chaos. The universe does not give wealth to punish or reward. It gives it to amplify the energy you embody. So, if you wish to expand your financial life, expand your energy first. Money will always follow the one who understands that it is not the source of power, but a reflection of it. When you chase money, it runs. When you attract it through purpose, it stays. The energy of money is much like the energy of life. It cannot be forced, it must be aligned. Many people spend their entire lives running after wealth, believing that constant pursuit will bring them peace, only to find themselves exhausted, anxious, and empty. The truth is, chasing money from a place of lack only pushes it further away. It senses desperation, and desperation is the vibration of fear. Fear says, I don't have enough, while purpose says, I can create more. Money flows to the vibration of creation, not to the frequency of fear. When you move through the world with purpose, everything changes. Purpose brings clarity. It gives direction to your energy. It transforms your work from something you have to do into something that expresses who you are. When you pour genuine passion, excellence, and value into what you do, money becomes a natural consequence. It stays because it recognizes stability. It stays because you've built something rooted in authenticity. Chasing money is like chasing a shadow. The harder you run after it, the further it moves away. But when you turn toward your purpose, the shadow follows you effortlessly. People often misunderstand attraction. It's not about sitting back and waiting for wealth to appear. It's about aligning your actions with intention. When you create value, when you solve problems, when you bring light to others, you attract abundance. The marketplace doesn't reward greed, it rewards usefulness. Purpose makes you useful, it makes you indispensable, and when you are indispensable, money finds you no matter where you are. It's not magic, it's the natural outcome of alignment. You attract money through who you become, not through what you chase. When your thoughts, actions, and emotions are synchronized with service, you radiate confidence, and confidence has its own magnetic field. It draws in opportunities, partnerships, and resources that align with your vision. On the other hand, when you chase money without vision, you lose yourself in confusion. You compromise your values. You make decisions that look profitable but feel wrong. You move against your inner compass, and even if you catch money, it doesn't stay because it doesn't belong to that vibration. The greatest irony is that those who stop obsessing over money often end up having more of it. They focus on mastery, not reward. They focus on impact, not recognition. And the universe responds to that balance by multiplying their reach. Purpose gives you patience. It keeps you grounded when money fluctuates and centered when challenges arise. When your why is strong, the how will always reveal itself. So stop running after money like it's your savior. Build something meaningful enough that money wants to be part of it. Let your vision be the magnet and your effort be the proof. When you move with purpose, wealth will find its way to you, not because you begged for it, but because you became someone who deserves it. The true power of money is freedom, not possession. Many people spend their lives accumulating money, counting every coin, stacking every note, believing that the more they own, the more powerful they become. But true power does not lie in how much you have, it lies in what you can do with what you have. Money was never meant to cage you, it was meant to liberate you. When used with wisdom, it buys time, peace, and opportunity. When misunderstood, it becomes a trap that feeds fear and insecurity. The freedom that money brings comes from control, not collection, from the ability to make choices without being enslaved by them. Freedom is not in luxury, it's in flexibility. It's waking up knowing you can choose where to be, what to do, and who to serve. Money becomes powerful only when it supports your values instead of replacing them. Too often, people confuse possession with power. They build walls of wealth but remain imprisoned by their worries. They buy symbols of success but sell their souls for the illusion of importance. They forget that money is not the end goal. It is the means to live more fully, to love more deeply, to give more freely. Possession without purpose leads to emptiness, but freedom built on financial wisdom leads to fulfillment. Money gives you options, and options are freedom. It gives you the ability to walk away from what no longer serves you, to invest in what inspires you, and to protect those you love. But to reach that point, you must master the discipline behind financial freedom. You must learn to control desire, delay gratification, and make decisions based on values, not emotions. Every financial choice you make is either a chain or a key. It either locks you deeper into dependency or unlocks a new level of independence. Those who understand this use money consciously. They let it serve their vision rather than their vanity. The true test of financial maturity is not how much you can spend, but how much peace you can maintain when you have money or when you don't. Real wealth is the ability to live freely within your means without the need to constantly prove your worth. It's knowing that money can create comfort, but only wisdom can create freedom, and wisdom comes from awareness. Awareness of what truly matters, awareness of what you truly need. When you stop seeing money as a symbol of status and start seeing it as a tool of liberation, you experience a shift. You stop chasing possessions and start chasing purpose. You stop trying to impress others and start trying to improve yourself. That's when the power of money reveals itself, not as control over others, but as freedom over yourself. In the end, the goal is not to possess wealth endlessly, but to live so abundantly within it that your spirit remains free even as your bank account grows. Money magnifies who you already are. Discipline creates wealth. Chaos destroys it. The presence of money doesn't change a person, it simply reveals them. When you place wealth in the hands of someone with focus, integrity, and purpose, it multiplies. But when you give it to someone driven by impulse, insecurity, or ego, it vanishes. Money does not make character, it exposes it. That is why some people can turn a little into a fortune, while others lose everything despite abundance. The difference is not in the amount they have, but in the discipline that guides their choices. Discipline is the foundation of wealth. It's not about working endlessly or saving obsessively. It's about intentional balance. The disciplined person knows when to invest, when to spend, and when to walk away. They understand that true financial success requires patience and consistency. Wealth is rarely built through luck. It's built through steady, focused effort. Discipline teaches you to respect time, to understand that growth is a process, not an overnight miracle. Every wise financial move compounds quietly, building strength beneath the surface until one day it becomes visible to the world. Chaos, on the other hand, is the silent thief of prosperity. When emotions rule your financial life, decisions become reactive instead of strategic. You spend to feel significant, you invest without research, and you chase trends instead of principles. Chaos doesn't just drain your money, it drains your peace. It turns opportunity into risk and growth into confusion. Those who lack discipline often blame the system, the economy, or bad luck, never realizing that the true battle was within. Without control over yourself, no amount of money can create stability. Discipline also means humility. It's recognizing that you don't have to have everything at once. It's knowing that sometimes saying no is a greater form of power than saying yes. It's resisting the urge to impress others with what you have and choosing instead to impress yourself with what you build. Discipline transforms money from a fleeting resource into a growing force. It gives direction to wealth and purpose to profit, and when wealth has purpose, it endures. Every wealthy person who sustains success carries a quiet rhythm of order behind their fortune. They track, they plan, they think ahead. They understand that money responds to structure just as a river flows best when given a channel. Chaos, however, breaks the flow. It leaks energy and opportunity through carelessness. If you wish to hold on to wealth, you must first hold yourself together. In the end, money will amplify the truth of your habits. If you are disciplined, it will reward you with abundance. If you are reckless, it will highlight your instability. The secret is not to chase more money, but to cultivate stronger order within. Because once your mind is structured and your actions are aligned, wealth no longer becomes a question of chance. It becomes a reflection of who you have chosen to be. Respect money as a tool, not as a god. Money is powerful, but only in proportion to the wisdom of the one who wields it. When people begin to worship money, they lose themselves to illusion. They forget that money was designed to serve, not to rule. It is a means of exchange, a vessel for creation, not a measure of human worth. To respect money is to understand its purpose, its flow, and its limits. Those who treat it as a god become slaves to it. Those who treat it as a tool become masters of it. The difference lies in intention, whether you use money to elevate life or let it control yours. Money is neutral. It carries no morality of its own. It simply magnifies the energy and values of its holder. When you respect it, you give it direction. You track it, manage it, grow it with intelligence. You understand that every dollar carries power and every financial choice carries consequence. Respect is shown through discipline, through budgeting, saving, investing, and giving. When you respect money, you don't waste it chasing appearances. You spend with awareness and earn with integrity. You understand that it can buy comfort, but never contentment, status, but never self-worth. Respecting money means keeping it in its rightful place, important, but never supreme. When money becomes a god, it blinds you. It turns ambition into obsession and purpose into greed. It drives people to trade peace for profit, relationships for transactions, and integrity for quick wins. You begin to believe that happiness has a price tag, forgetting that fulfillment is earned through purpose, not possession. The more you idolize money, the more it controls your emotions, fear when you lose it, arrogance when you gain it. You start defining yourself by numbers instead of by values, and your identity becomes as unstable as your income. But when you treat money as a tool, everything changes. You use it to create opportunities, to build security, to serve others. You see it as an extension of your creativity and hard work, not the definition of your success. Money becomes a servant to your purpose, a bridge between vision and reality. You invest in knowledge, in people, in experiences that multiply your value. You give not out of obligation, but out of understanding that generosity keeps the flow of abundance alive. The more you respect the energy of money, the more it respects you in return. Respecting money also means detaching your emotions from it. You remain calm in its abundance and wise in its absence. You learn to make decisions based on logic, not fear. You allow it to flow freely, knowing that control does not come from clinging, but from conscious direction. The moment you stop bowing to money and start guiding it, you reclaim your power, because in truth, money is never the master, it's the mirror. It reflects how much strength, awareness, and purpose you bring into the world. Master your mind, and money will follow your command. Every form of wealth begins in the unseen realm of thought. Before money appears in your hand, it first takes shape in your mind. Your beliefs about abundance, value, and possibility are the foundation of your financial reality. If your thoughts are filled with limitation, fear, and doubt, money will always seem distant. But if your mind is trained to see opportunity, to think creatively, and to act with confidence, then money naturally gravitates toward you. The universe reflects the energy of your mindset, and money is one of its clearest mirrors. Most people try to change their financial situation without changing their internal programming. They chase strategies, tips, and shortcuts, but ignore the one place where true transformation begins, the mind. The undisciplined mind spends impulsively, reacts emotionally, and fears scarcity. The mastered mind makes decisions from clarity and patience. It understands that money is not just earned through effort, but through alignment. Alignment of thoughts, emotions, and actions. When your inner world is ordered, your outer world follows. You stop making choices from panic and start making them from purpose. Mastering your mind means mastering the stories you tell yourself about money. Many grow up believing that wealth is for others, that money is hard to get, or that wanting it is selfish. These beliefs create invisible walls that block abundance. To command money, you must first command belief. You must replace fear with faith, lack with possibility, and greed with gratitude. The mind that respects both effort and flow becomes unstoppable. It recognizes that money doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to direction. A focused mind attracts opportunity because it sees patterns others miss. It spots value, creates solutions, and takes calculated risks instead of blind ones. The person who has control over their thinking does not waste energy complaining or comparing. They use that energy to build. They understand that money expands with mental discipline and contracts with mental chaos. When your thoughts are structured, your results are predictable. Emotional control is another sign of mental mastery. Money will test your patience, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth. Prices fluctuate, investments fail, opportunities disappear, but a strong mind remains centered. It knows that setbacks are temporary and lessons are priceless. It adjusts instead of collapsing. Money obeys those who remain grounded when others panic. The ability to think clearly under pressure is one of the greatest financial strengths you can develop. Ultimately, money follows the mind that leads with intention. It flows to visionaries, not victims. When you learn to quiet doubt and amplify focus, your energy becomes magnetic. The world begins to respond to your confidence and clarity. Master your emotions, discipline your thoughts, and act from purpose rather than impulse. The moment your mind becomes steady and strong, money ceases to be a mystery. It becomes a loyal servant to your command.